I just realized that I am not sharing this on the screen right now. So it's not even. I don't even have the time to fix it.
We were trying to be a little fancy for our britches here, where we are running a trailer. Oh, is it running right now somewhere?
Well, so here's the thing. You'll hear the audio, not the video. I realized that I set up the 3-man the screen crop without the share. So I was doing it and I had it ready, and then I looked back over and OBS was just the three of our stupid faces staring at it. So
very good.
All right. Well, we tried. The important thing is we tried.
Throw that link into YouTube. I'll throw the link into YouTube chat for people.
If you want to get yourself hype, go check out the trailer we have for Josh's big challenge. It's our Memorial Day weekend show. It's Friday. We want to do something special here. Of course, along the way, this has become a little meme amongst our shows. We've been talking about it on all the channels. Our own Josh Stengelman today going to attempt to eat 100 pizza bites as we do the show. And we're going to do the same usual MLB show. Myself, the baseball savant, Jake Hari, Josh Stengelman here, going to be pounding some pizza bites. How are you doing, Jake? Let's talk to you first.
I'm doing well, man. This is an exciting show, a historic show for Awesemo.com. I think it's going to go down as when Josh finally finishes his 100th and then pukes everywhere. But it'll be a good one. Good baseball slate as well. I know we haven't really talked much about that today, but there will be some baseball talk in between the pizza roll eating.
We are doing a little something for everybody today. But of course, before we get to the baseball talk, well, first, before we get to Josh too, use that promo code Live Before Lock. Get half off your first month on any Awesemo.com package. All the ownership projections, all the rankings, the deep dive column every day, Awesemo's top stack percentage, a lot of things that'll make you better at building lineups every day. So check that out. You don't even need pizza rolls in there. You can just pay it with money. It's crazy how currency works. Go check that out right now. Use that promo code Live Before Lock. Josh, how are you feeling? This is your big moment in the sun.
I'm not going to lie. I'm getting incredibly nervous right now. I looked at my phone and the timer is at like a minute for me to go down and grab them. I'll probably let them sit for a minute or two once we get back up here. But yeah, I'm starting to panic a little bit. The nerves are setting in. I took some PEDs. I don't think that's going to help the nerves at all. It's just, I am excited. I want to be successful.
Are you hungry?
I have not eaten yet today. Not a single speck of food.
My goodness.
Yeah. So
I heard you on the Awesemo Odds show earlier talking about how you're going to get some spinach salad in there, get some coffee. So that didn't happen.
Yeah, coffee happened. I had plenty of coffee. Did not eat a morsel of food. So the 3,300 calories or whatever is going to be coursing through my veins are going to be the only ones I've had so far today.
Wow, that is dedication to your craft. But if you want to participate, by the way, we are running Vegas lines for this because we are an advanced sports analytics site. We do a little bit of sports betting content. So go to the @Awesemo Odds Twitter. Right now they have a line. It's the pinned tweet on there, and they have an over/under right now set. Over 79 will get you -155. Under 79 will get you +110. Baseball savant Jake Hari, what are you doing with that line?
Say that again. The line is.
So over 79 is -155, under 79 +110.
Oh, over.
I'll be back, guys. I got to take pizza bites out of the oven.
Over even odds for that? For 79?
No, I mean it's shading towards the under. Or I guess no, you get a little bit of a vig on the under or on the over rather.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Give me the over. I mean, I think he's going to do 100. So I don't think he's going to have a problem with 80.
I was kind of hoping you'd be the skeptic today because I'm very much in favor of Josh getting the over. I feel like his confidence, at least before this 5-minute interval right now, very pro in terms of him getting it done. So I'm going to be disappointed if he doesn't get it, but I guess we have to disagree here. So I'll take the under. I want to have a stake in it. And if I do get the under right, I will be getting a +1. What I just lost it. +110 on that. No, yeah, +110. So that's not bad. I think it's benefiting you to take the under.
I think the value's in the over. I mean, huge value in the over. So I'm not saying he's going to do it. Just like a good sports bettor doesn't say he's going to win the game. They just say where the value's at. I think it's on the over. 80? Man, he can do 80.
I hope so. I think there's going to be an invisible wall at 75. But again, go to the @Awesemo Odds Twitter right now. Go vote in that poll. Again, the lines may update throughout the show depending upon how Josh is doing. I think they are actually going to be updating. We're going all in on this, guys. We're doing full odds. Unfortunately, Bovada didn't pick this up, but it would have been smart if they did. Or if we had any sponsor at all who was like, hey, we'd love to run your Vegas odds. But Here it is. We're doing it. But before we get to that stuff, Josh is going to prepare his pizza rolls right now. He's getting it from the oven. Hopefully they'll cool down. We'll talk some baseball while he does that. What are we doing at pitcher, Jake? We got a lot of pitching options today in the high priced range. A lot of guys who have, I guess, a pretty decent matchup in front of them. Some guys who don't. Chris Sale, not a great matchup in front of him, but still probably worth his fare too. What are you doing with those guys? What are you getting the most of?
I'm unfortunately getting the most of Thor, Noah Syndergaard. I was just talking to Adam when I jumped on the deeper dive to relieve Josh so he could start his pizza roll making. I just can't stand playing him as chalk, and he's always chalk. He's always 10K. And it's always like a big slate, and he just jumps out as like the best value. The problem is he's like, if he was a little closer in price to Blake Snell, or Snell was a little cheaper, I would be all over Snell. But with all these expensive bats I want to pay up for, I'm just finding myself, even while prioritizing bats, I'm still able to get in Syndergaard, whereas I'm not able to get up to like the Sales or like the, you could go to Barrios basically for $100 more. But he doesn't project out nearly as well. So it's Syndergaard in that top tier. And then after that, McGowan, I'm getting to a ton of. He projects out. Yeah. Yeah. Use the projections on the site. You're probably getting to a good amount of McGowan. He's kind of an unknown, but going up against Miami, I basically have no problem doing that, assuming he's not just a completely terrible pitcher. And I don't think he is. So he's going to be a guy I'm overweight on. We're only showing a little bit of ownership for him as well. So that might be a guy that kind of decides my fate on this slate. Going down a little bit, Junis was going to be a guy I got to a little bit, but I don't know if you saw our rankings and projections updated, and looks like there's a pretty decent chance for a postponement in Kansas City. So he's kind of off the table for me. And then which other guys am I getting to? Who are you getting to? Like anyone besides Pomeranz in this low tier, besides Pomeranz and McGowan, I guess?
Well, apparently, by the way, so this is, I just have to do it real fast. We apparently shifted the line with our picks here. It's now over 85 minus 140, under 85 plus 130. So the line has moved heavily already, Jake.
Wow. I should probably shut my mouth and just smash the over then. Jeez.
Oh, Emac suggesting also we make a bet with Sean V that he has to leave YouTube chat for a week if Josh wins, and Sean V gets a week of premium content in Slack if he doesn't get 100. Sean V, what's your take if you're in the chat, buddy?
Dude, I think we need Sean V in YouTube chat.
I like Sean V. I'm very pro Sean V. I don't support
the staple of the show. He is not afraid of some strong takes. So it's nice to have those guys in the chat, as long as the takes are somewhat backed up with data, I guess. Anyways.
But yeah, back to the pitching. So yeah, I thought I was going to get a lot more Robbie Ray today, but you're right. What you mentioned about the price, like I actually did force some Blake Snell just because I think he's just a really good pitcher and in a good spot here versus a Cleveland team who's just not hitting up to snuff. I think you could definitely make some arguments for them being due for some positive regression, but they haven't had it at all this year so far. Robbie Ray, though, I'm surprised how little I've got him in, and he doesn't pop in our projections either. I think Syndergaard projects significantly better at a far lower price, but I just have a lot of Syndergaard, and I'm riding with it. And to be honest, I think Syndergaard hasn't been that impressive this year, like just numbers wise. And the Mets pitchers, I think mentally, at least for me, and I think a lot of people probably out there the same way, they really just have been kind of letting us down over and over again. And I'm a little worried about how much Syndergaard I have. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter because a lot of people will be there as well. But 11.1% swing strike rate, giving up 8.7 hits per nine, 8.9 Ks per nine only this year. Like, that's not the greatest performance for a guy who's going to be almost 40% owned.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. It's probably a little over-owned. And you can make that case for basically any pitcher. It's not like you don't have a bunch of other guys in good matchups, but just the price, like he's a bunch cheaper than Sale and Snell, which would be the two guys I kind of want to go to in that range. Not wild about Bieber, not wild about Ray at that price. The only other guy would be Barrios, I guess, for me, but he's not projecting out that well in our projections, which I'm a little bit surprised about. So I don't think Alex is very high on Barrios tonight, although I would like to get at least a few shares in my 150 of Barrios because he is one of those high upside arms, and he does have a decent strikeout matchup as well. I see Josh back with his double stack.
I am.
All right, so do you want to show the camera? I know you may have showed it while we were talking, but do you want to give the people one little Vanna White presentation of your offing?
Yeah, so I got one tray of 51 right here.
Okay.
And then I've got another tray of 51 right here.
So we have an extra 2 in case things go south.
Yeah, they just happen to have 51 in each box. So
do you have a whiteboard or something where you can like mark down?
I'm working on. I'm gonna have an on-screen counter.
Okay. I was going to say.
And also, for the record, a bit of honor to this too, because you could easily be doing some tricks. There could be Riggs sneaking under the table there, your dog taking some pizza rolls off the table. So I want to make sure, Josh, you are a man of honor as you do this, right?
Yeah, here's the deal. I don't want to share them. I'm hungry, and I think that I'll have no problem eating all 100. So I don't want to give a single thing to anybody else.
So maybe you just show them up to the camera as you do it before you do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I've got the counter on the screen right now. I'll put it I don't know, somewhere in this.
I'm just saying it
by the presenting sponsor, presented by Josh's Fat.
Yeah, I know there's going to be some skeptics, but so
I mean, I'm on screen. Like, if you guys
yeah.
can't watch me eat individual bites, I'll make sure that I make it like really ridiculous for everybody.
No. I think you're going to do it. I don't think you're going to have too much of an issue.
No, I'm going to plow through this like it's nothing.
But, yeah.
Are you about ready to kick it off? Or are you going to take the first one? Like, what's the timing on this?
I'm just getting everything like set up on the screen and everything, and then we're good to go.
All right, so we'll talk more about pitching and hitting, obviously, as we go. But just set the table for Josh right now. I went to MyFitnessPal before we went on the air because I'm a professional broadcaster who's covering this. And much like the Nathan Hot Dogs guys, I feel like I should be wearing a silly outfit along with it. But unfortunately, we didn't get there today. But pepperoni pizza rolls on MyFitnessPal, the calorie count, 3662 calories. That is more than 1 pound worth of calories that Josh will be intaking today. 432.8 grams of carbs. So you are taking, if you are a person, generally, you want to be around the 100 carb threshold. If you're working out, if you're like Jake, you're trying to be lean, trying to stay strong. 100 carbs, great. Josh eating 4 times that. 150 grams of fat, almost 149.8 grams of fat. 116.5 grams of protein. So that's good. That's going to go right to your biceps, I think, Josh. Maybe the pecs, depending upon what you're doing today, what your lift was in the morning. And the sodium is the fun part. 6,828.8 milligrams of sodium. So I think that's more than your daily dose. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, probably not great for the kidney disease or the blood pressure pills that I take. So,
do you actually?
Yes, both of those things are true statements.
so that's not just vomit we're facing, potential just manslaughter. We're all witnesses to. So that's exciting.
When I polish this first tray off almost immediately, people are going to get rude awakening here. I'm ready to start. If you guys are ready to take over and start talking baseball.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's kick it off. So pizza roll number 1. Here we go.
Cheers,
I guess
everybody.
3, 2, 1,
Actually,
go.
let me make sure that I'm going to turn my monitor a little bit so you guys can see me for sure. All right, pizza bite 1.
All right, so Josh is going to be eating these as we go. He will chime in when he finishes. He's confident that he's going to be able to chime in for the last half hour or so of the show. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how this it's the social experiment we're running while doing baseball chat. Jake, let's circle back to the cheap pitchers here. So you talked about Jacob Junis, the weather there, definitely a concern. Anybody in that price range you're willing to switch to now that we know that Junis might be off the table?
Not really. I mean, he was kind of one of my differentiation points. I guess McGowan. I'm interested to see where he comes in once we update ownership again, which I would assume is in the next couple minutes. But that was really the only guy. Like, I can't really get behind Smiley.
I think we actually just got an update, by the way, like a second ago, according to McCod.
We did?
Apparently.
Oh, I don't see it in the... Wait, did we?
Unless McCod's wrong, but McCod's never wrong. So, yeah, 2 minutes ago.
McCod is never wrong. Oh, wait, I didn't get the notification Slack. Okay. Well, all right. Thanks, McCod. I will refresh the ownership.
McCod better than her own internal Slack. Shouts to McCod.
How does McCod know that before?
10 down.
Yeah.
What was that? Are you just double fisting them? I can't see you right now.
10 down. You can't see me?
He's easily.
Well, I can. I'm moving to other screens and stuff, so I'm not.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta lock
10 down. All right, back to eating. Bye.
Yeah, don't take a break, Josh. You don't need to chime in. I mean, they'll keep you honest. So.
No, I think chime in every 10. That's fair. Just interrupt us because we got to keep track. And if I can't actually keep a full count on you, just pop in with it. But 10 already. So he is well ahead of pace then, I think, Jake. I wonder what the line movement is going to be at Osmo Odds on Twitter.
It's just going to be if he can finish them before he hits the wall. You know what I'm saying?
Now I'm just watching him fully. It's actually kind of gross just watching you chew. It's like a cow chewing cud.
McGowan is now, yeah, I mean, he's double what he was before, but he's still barely in double digits. I mean, I'll take a chance on that guy, like, especially now that there's no Junis. So it's going to be McGowan for my cheap guy. It's going to be some Pomeranz. I can't get behind Miley. I can't get behind Reynaldo Lopez against the Twins. I can't get behind Michaelis versus the Braves. Obviously, Junis, none of the Coors Field guys. Like, are you looking at Smiley, LeBlanc?
I could take a shot at Hoffman. I thought Adam made a decent case for Hoffman and how, he's had some points. And I think I might be inferring a little more about it, but it seems like Hoffman's had some points in his life where he could be useful. The stuff there, not very impressive, not getting a ton of swinging strikes in his limited sample size in the majors over the last year and change. But that Baltimore kind of that lineup there, I don't think I'm terribly worried about it. Like, obviously being in Coors is going to make anybody better, but like, not a lot of home run power overall. Like, you have Mancini, you have VR, who's close to league average. Alberto's been above league average. Severino's been above league average. But if those guys don't get on, I feel like he can have an easy time with, like, Wilkerson is horrendously bad versus lefties. He has a negative 58 WRC plus and almost 40 at bats over the last year and change. Like, if Hoffman has anything, I think he can get decent results here. I just don't know that he has anything.
Right. That's the question. And do you really want to take a pitcher with a 5.4 total against him when you can just take a guy that's 10% owned against another bad team that you don't have to deal with Coors Field in? I don't know. I just think maybe Hoffman is a little too cute for my liking tonight. Like, I like getting cute with these SP2s sometimes, but I don't know that I need to go there tonight, even with 150. So I'd be surprised if he shows up. If he does show up in any of my crunches, like a couple lineups here and there, I'm not going to X him out or anything. But yeah, it's just not someone I'm going to get to with any frequency.
Our guy Ryan, who's running the Awesemo Odds Twitter right now, at Awesemo Odds. So if you want to go make your picks right now, we are doing that. The line has been shifted over 97, now minus 210 to under 97, plus 250. So go find your local bookie and get a way to get your legs broken, I guess, when Josh hits the invisible wall in 40. He is passing, though. He's zooming right now. Josh, almost at 35, according to the slightly delayed YouTube counter. How you feeling, Josh?
Pretty good. I'm tired of chewing at this point. They taste fantastic. Perfect temperature right now. I'm really sick of eating them already. I'm going to blow through the 100 without any effort.
It would be really funny if your lack of, like, chewing fitness somehow caught up with you, where you got, like, TMJ, lockjaw, just couldn't go through, which would be the best part of this video by far.
I'd believe it.
Strong first 3 innings here for Josh. That's a great comment, Sam.
It's a quality start for Josh right now, one would say. Makad, I feel like I'm watching a stuff film right now. Thank you, Makad. That's the goal. We want it to feel like 8mm with Nicolas Cage in here, which, Jake, you definitely did not see that movie, I'm confident.
Any Nick Cage movie outside of National Treasure, I'm out on. So he's in there, Nick Cage. I'm not making that up.
Anything? Yes, no, he is in that. That is one I guess you don't need to know, really. Of all the movies, that's not the one I would go to first, but I guess it is the most internet meme friendly one. Any else pitchers that you didn't mention? Like, any Shane Bieber for you, a guy who's been up there in terms of just strikeout stuff with anybody in the league? Or, I guess Trent Thornton, and obviously substantially cheaper than Bieber, but a guy who you can make an argument for. And McGowan we talked about, but anybody else of these guys who maybe look okay, and you probably get to on like a 5 to 8 game slate, but on a 14 gamer, probably not getting there. Any of them popping for you with the projections?
Thornton's okay. I don't mind it. It's a pretty decent strikeout matchup for a guy that has, I think, a little bit of strikeout upside. 7,600, I think it's a fair price for him. So it's not like outright value or anything for Thornton. He's another one where if I get 10 or 15%, I'm fine with it. If I don't get any of him, I'm not going to recrunch type of thing. Who was the other one you mentioned? Was it
Bieber?
Bieber. Yeah, different price range. All right. I don't think I'm going to get to much Bieber at all. 10-4. I think I'd rather pivot to Barrios. I'd rather pivot to, or I'd rather stay on Syndergaard. So just a tougher matchup against the Rays. Bieber does struggle with lefty power, and Ji-Man Choi and Brandon Lau and Meadows, for that matter, are all pretty concerning for me at the top. So probably won't get too much Bieber. What about you?
So I have very little of both Bieber and Barrios. Again, didn't get to Ray, which surprised me, but I did get to both Bieber and Barrios because I guess just different constructions. And I'm okay with that, like having still significantly less of those guys than Syndergaard. But I think a little bit of them is fine. They're both close enough in price range where if you have a stack that works with Syndergaard and then those guys are the better play than Syndergaard, like a chalky stack in particular, I think going to Bieber and Barrios could be valuable. But I agree, like not a high volume play. Like I think Bieber, people do sleep on Bieber. I know Josh was talking about Bieber on the deeper dive and was into him a little bit more. I think the stuff is there for him. I'm intrigued by him, but on this slate, like I'd rather just go with Syndergaard. And if he buries me, as the Mets pitchers have multiple times in the last few weeks, that's life, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, these Mets pitchers, they're just always chalk, it seems like. Steven Matz, Jacob deGrom, Syndergaard, who else?
Wheeler,
yeah. All these guys, they're always chalk.
Is Josh eating in Coors tonight? By the way, Josh is now soared past the 50 marker of the pizza rolls. We're getting a line update as well. 50 down, 50 to go. Move the line. The over 99.5 is now minus 1,000, under 99.5, plus 2,500. So again, if you want to go to your bookie and take that under, if let's say Josh has a congenital heart defect that pops up in the next 20 minutes or so, you could really profit.
I'm on the take, man. I'm shaving points. I'm going to tank that line now.
Dude, he's going to get this so easy. It's not.
This would be great if this was all like a big fix, like a quiz show style fix where we're just taking action and then Josh is going to throw it. And nobody would have expected that for a second.
Yeah. Tell your friends. A man is about to eat 100 pizza rolls in a matter of like 15 minutes, maybe. I don't even know if it's going to take him that long. Yeah, pitching is just tough tonight with Syndergaard. Like, I know I just keep mentioning him, but it's truly how I feel. Like I just, even when I account for ownership, I am still getting to a ton of him and still getting the stacks I like, which I try to prioritize bats. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of Noah, a lot of McGowan, a lot of Pomeranz, the chalk basically.
So we're he is slowing down. Somebody in the chat's noticing, which is fair. He's losing some momentum as we go. We're gonna hit dong picks, by the way, in 2 minutes. We'll interrupt Josh's eating to give his dong pick. Of course, been one of the stronger plays of that. And we'll talk more about stacks in a second. But I guess one question, since we talk so much Syndergaard, any leverage stacks against him, because you're gonna have a lot of him, and he is a guy who can get blown up. Any Detroit for you going against him?
No, I don't think so. I think that is too cute. There are 27 other teams. You know, there's 20 teams I would easily put ahead of them. You look at them on the top stack tool, well under 1% of being the top stack, and they're actually being over-owned. They're actually owned over 1%. So I don't think you need to do that on a 14-game slate. I know it's good leverage, but like if this was a much better team, like if this was the Brewers who strikes out a bunch and Syndergaard was chalk, obviously I'd be interested in some Brewers stacks against Syndergaard, a team with a bunch of speed and power. But I don't think Detroit's the team that, even if Syndergaard does poorly, I don't know that you're seeing like a 7 or 8 or 10 spot from Detroit here.
Yep. I think that seems like a fair opinion to have there. Like I like the idea of stacking against the pitcher, especially because we know so many issues that have happened with these guys. I didn't get there. The total's just not there. I think too, being in Citi Field, it's not a great park factor situation either where I'm dying to get there. You might be able to talk me more into it if it were in Detroit. I just didn't get there, but just a thought worth throwing out there. Any of the other top pitchers that you do have stacks against?
Not that I see right now. I see Josh dancing on the screen in delay. But like the top, like I don't think I'm gonna have stacks against Chris Sale. Looking at, like, I think Bieber would be the guy I'd most likely stack against with the Rays stack, and maybe a Pirate stack, but Bell would be the guy I'd want the most, and he's 5,500 on DK, so I don't think I'm getting to there. So maybe just some Rays.
Oh, one dude we didn't talk about who we really should before we do home run picks, Drew Pomeranz. His ownership surprisingly has gone down throughout the day, I guess, as people realize he's Drew Pomeranz, but still a low Vegas total for him. I mean, only 0.2 higher than Robbie Ray, who's going to have, I guess, just slightly more ownership, but is a guy who you would think would get a much better total. Pomeranz, okay. The Diamondbacks have been pretty good versus left-hand pitching, though, on the year. Some decent power with a 218 ISO, 279 batting average, 117 WRC plus. So if Pomeranz were higher owned, I was ready to go against him. He's not higher owned, so I'm riding with Pomeranz a little more than I have. And what are you doing with him, Jake?
Yeah, I mentioned him a couple times.
Did you? Okay, I might have been distracted for some reason.
No, all good. I have no reason why. I mean, no clue why you'd be distracted right now. But yeah, I mean, he's just a guy that I'm ending up on. I was talking to Adam in the few minutes that we talked. just about that park. I know it's not called AT&T, but the park in San Francisco is just so good to pitchers. Even Pomeranz, who he's not a great pitcher, maybe average, maybe below average, somewhere in that range. But it's not even a great strikeout matchup. But it's just a guy that I think could get you 15 DK points more often than not here. So I'll take that for 7,200. You've got a decent chance at a win. And there's just, again, not many options at all in this range.
Yeah. Okay. That seems fair. Yeah. So I'm there too. And I'm also pulling up the dong sheet right now because we are at the halfway point of the show. But Josh, let's check in with you. You have passed. Where are you right now? Counter. Oh, you're almost at 80. So you are almost there, my friend. And the people are rooting for you. Almost at 700 views. I think this is one of our higher viewed live before locks, even though it's a holiday weekend. So yay promotion. Yay you sacrificing yourself for the team. How are you feeling? It seems like you're slowing down maybe a little bit physically, but you're going volume-wise well.
Yeah, so I'm not going to have a single issue packing away these last 20, but it does feel way more uncomfortable than I expected.
I think it's that invisible wall. I told you, at a certain point, you're just going to pass it. And I think the 50s were probably doing well. But, once you get to 60, 70, it just backs up a little and you kind of feel it in your gullet a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, it's really disgusting. And I just want to get my dong pick in here so that I don't have to talk until I get to 100. But I feel gross right now.
And just before you give your dong pick, the odds have been updated. 20 left. You are now the under 100 is now plus 20,000. The book no longer taking the overs, unfortunately. So they're going broke. You're killing our casino that we just put up.
I'm just getting I haven't updated anything in a hot minute, so just refreshing the screen so I can get my final pick. I've got two rows of 10 laying on I put them out in 5 rows of 10, so I've got two rows to go.
People are doing questions, by the way, so I feel like I should throw that some to you while you get a little breather. Do they still taste as good, or are they tasteless at this point?
They taste terrible now. They were those first 20, man. Whew.
Oh, I can't imagine.
I felt good. It was like a death row meal for me. Now I feel like I'm on death row. I feel like Suge Knight is going to run me over with a car.
If anybody else has any more Josh questions, by the way, put them in the chat. We'll get to them either before or after he finishes his haul. But go ahead and give us your dong pick. You are update people on the standards. Update people on the standings. Josh still in first place, tied with EMAC at 8. I am behind them with 6, and Jake behind me. Not quite a human centipede anymore, Josh, which is good given all the things that you're going to have coming out of both ends. Jake at number 5 now, so still in last place, but catching up. We're both coming up on the rear with you guys. There's a lot of things I shouldn't have said in one sentence, but go ahead, Josh, who's your pick?
I just ate 2 of these. I'm sorry. I'm going to update the counter. 82. Yeah, give me Eddie Rosario.
Oh, come on, man. I like it. Good.
What hurt was that day that game got postponed. I had Eddie Rosario. Jake had CJ Cron, I think, or yeah.
No, I had Blanco.
Yeah.
I got to finish these off before I really hate myself.
Yeah, go, Josh.
Jake, go ahead. I'll let you go. Your pick.
All right. I like, man, I thought I was going to maybe take a twin, but I will take Matt Carpenter, 4,200 DK.
Okay. Matt Carpenter. EMAC, by the way, if you're in one of the chats, tag me, let me know, and I'll put your pick in. I'm going to go Christian Yelich. I know I'm going a little high price range, but I'm very much on them. We actually haven't talked about the Brewers, so maybe we could talk about that as the first stack, but I know Josh was very into them on the deeper dive. A lot of power here going against a guy in Eichhoff who struggles pretty mightily versus lefties in a park that is going to be perfect for lefty power. So I'll take Christian Yelich. And I was really proud of him chugging that beer yesterday while Aaron Rodgers acted like a little bitch. It's just embarrassing. Did you see that, Jake?
Yeah, I did. I love Aaron Rodgers, but not a great effort out of him. I don't know if it was too cool or whatever. Maybe he just had drank one, a few minutes before, and he had just gotten his new one. He was feeling a little full. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but still not a great effort. I mean, we've got Josh here who's willing to put his body through hell just for the people, and Aaron couldn't chug his beer. I mean, he had a quarter of it left. He could have easily finished that.
I'm the David Bakhtiari of Pizza Bites.
Exactly.
You did. Yeah, you did a great job. Yelich did a good job too. Like his wasn't as impressive as Bakhtiari, whatever, how you pronounce that old lineman's name. But Like Rogers, if you don't want to do it, just stone cold it and pour it all over your face and then smash it. And just be fun with it. He's just never fun. He just takes himself so seriously and it drives me nuts. He's so passive aggressive. Drink the beer, you bitch. He's a great quarterback, but also Mallory Edens is right next to him. Impress her. She'd be impressed by a guy who could drink a beer, I'm sure. Proud Wisconsin woman like she is right now. Let's talk about Milwaukee, Jake. How are you feeling about them overall as a stack? And I guess as one-offs, mini stacks, whatever.
I do hope I get to Milwaukee. I wouldn't mind the full stack against them. Like you mentioned, some issues with Eichhoff for lefty power. He's been better this year, but like Yelich is in there. I think Milwaukee's a stack that's going to be really tough to get to for a lot of people. They're technically a little over-owned right now, but they're under 4% owned on DK. They are 7% owned on FanDuel and Yahoo. So they're not one of the higher owned stacks on the slate, despite a 5-run total and a pitcher that we're not that worried about, I don't think, and just a ton of power, which is exactly like GPP winning power 1 through 6, really. So I like the idea of getting to some Brewers. I'm really hoping they show up soon in my crunches.
Yeah, and also quick line update coming in right now. The under now at plus 100,000. So you bet $100, you're winning 100,000 fictional dollars from the Osmo Casino at Osmo Odds on Twitter. So go follow them, go check it out because you're not going to find better odds on a man eating pizza rolls today. I'll tell you that much. Are you, Jake? Are you going to find?
Yeah, if I put $1 on no, is Alex going to be able to pay that out?
Yeah, yeah. Might be a good business decision for you, Josh.
All right. So how are you feeling? You got 5 left now almost. What are we going to make it? Any issues?
I'm going to make it, but I'm going to make it by the skin of my teeth. This was not as easy as I expected.
Good. I'm glad. That's all we can ask is you suffer a little bit for your art.
I'm sorry.
And your fart.
I don't feel good.
So somebody in the YouTube chat who I lost the chat asking, how does Katie feel about this? Does she know?
I'm not aware though. I don't think she does. I mean, I'll tell her. I don't care. Clearly. This is going to be archived. But no, I mean, she's in Charlotte, having a blast with friends and stuff. So I don't think she gives a shit.
Oh, here we go. Dr. Miles in the premium Slack saying that Aaron Rodgers prefers Scotch. He's not as young as he used to be. You're giving him a lot of credit, my friend. A lot of credit. And Emax home run pick, by the way, which is the most valuable on percentage. He is going with Stephen Piscotty as his. So he is going to an Oakland A's stack, was pretty interesting. Jake, you get any A's? Because I wanted to be on them, but they were just one of the stacks I just kind of lost in the process of the day. What about you in Oakland?
Yeah, I think Oakland is a stack I'm going to get to pretty easily. I mean, they're another team, 5.4, 5.5 implied total right now. And compared to their prices, they're just one of the best price teams on DraftKings. So they're also they were coming in a little bit over-owned. Now they're about even. So I like Oakland quite a bit. LeBlanc's not a guy I enjoy stacking against a ton, but so we talked about the bullpen a little bit on the Yahoo show, just like how much that factors into Alex's projections. And he said not much because there's a kind of a correlation.
Wait, Jake, hold on. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but we are at 99. What are you doing here, Josh?
I was just going to let you finish the point. I'll finish the last one whenever I need to.
Well, you want to go for 102? You want to break the slate?
I don't particularly want to eat a single one more than I have to.
I think you have 102 there. You might as well go for 102.
I'm good, man. 100 was the deal.
How are you not going to eat the last two?
Because I've eaten 99 already. And you know what? There's some diminishing returns, and we're already at the bottom of that curve.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Sorry, Jake. Continue your point. I just noticed we were at 99 and wanted to make sure we didn't just breeze past this moment.
No, Seattle doesn't have a great bullpen, and they're going to get the bad arms of an already poor bullpen if they can get to LeBlanc pretty early.
I didn't see the Aaron Rodgers tweet saying make it Scotch next time. Aaron Rodgers, you're a phony. You're a fraud, sir. Anyway, yeah, so I didn't get to Oakland. I like them quite a bit. I think the park factors, so I talked to Josh on one of the other shows. I'm looking at park factors a little more because I did feel like it was a blind spot I wasn't paying enough attention to. And just Oakland, diminishing returns on every part of hitting, I think was enough to get me off of them. Even though LeBlanc, normally a guy I'd want to target against, crazy big home run rate, not missing bats, all the stuff that we like to talk about that are good signifiers of production. Just being in Oakland, I think was enough to make me want to go other places. Like I know it's stupid because San Diego is going to be highly owned, but I like San Diego in that park. I like the matchup for them. I think they have enough power to put some production up. Like I'd rather go there But I guess the fact at this point that Oakland is not going to be as high owned or not as highly owned as it looked like they were going to be earlier, I think if you are making lineups now, I would try to get some Oakland in there.
Yankees game is delayed. It's postponed. Sorry.
All right, so that's official. So get your Jacob Junis out of your lineups, who we talked about. We would have both been on a little bit, even though, God, I'm glad actually. That feels like that saved us from ourselves there.
All right, cheers to you guys. I said from the start that this was going to happen, and I showed immediately that it happened. I am the pizza bite champ. No one's coming for this belt. I will reign supreme forever. I am the Awesemo of eating pizza rolls.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. I think that deserves a round of applause. Good job by you.
I agree. That was awesome. Good for you. Now go throw up if you need to.
Now I'm going to bink this slate, rub it in everybody's face.
$20K. You're in the $10 tonight, right? So
I did hear Josh was on the Awesemo Odds show, which is on our YouTube every Friday morning. It's Ben Rasa and our guy Jordan Frank, who's does a great job kind of getting our sports betting content up to snuff. And Josh was on there this morning talking about how, and Ben, I thought, made a credible argument where if you win a slate somehow, you pretty much have to do this 100 pizza roll thing every time you play a slate.
That's fine by me.
It seems like it. Seems like you're having a great time.
I'm really not, moving slow a little bit. The PEDs, I don't think were helpful. Now it's just making it worse.
Do you wish that you had gotten plain ones instead of pepperoni ones?
I wish that it never came up and I never did it.
of course.
Oh man, I'm glad we did this on a Friday before a holiday weekend.
It's not supposed to feel good.
It doesn't. Like, there are not many more pizza bites that would be going down my throat before we'd have some problems. I just feel disgusting right now. It's just not appealing. Super excited for locks so that I can just go lay down.
There you go.
All right.
I feel like they're in my eyeballs.
If you get squeezed, you're just gonna leak like crappy frozen cheese, just like cake icing, just coming right out of your eyeballs and your mouth. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. All right, Jake. What other stacks are you getting the most so far?
Well, I just refreshed, so I know I'm going to get a bunch of Colorado. The thing, and I say it quite a bit, but if you're playing Colorado, I would avoid. If you're doing Colorado main stacks, that's fine. I'm going to have a bunch of Colorado main stacks, but try to avoid too many overlaps. Even if you're playing 150 of like Colorado, San Diego, Colorado, Miami, because then that's just forcing you into the chalk lineup construction, whether it's Syndergaard or whoever, or get Barrios in there instead of Syndergaard in those lineups if you're going to do something like that. So just be smart with what you're doing with Colorado. Like, yeah, it's going to suck if the chalk goes nuts if Miami or San Diego puts up like 7-10 runs, but I'm comfortable losing if that happens with my Colorado stacks. So just trying to get different there. Other teams, I mentioned the Twins.
Wait, before, just let's go through a little bit because we got some time. Colorado, I think with their situation, so I went mini stacks with Colorado, and I'm willing to pay the price for Story and Arenado. I'm not as willing to pay the price for some of the other guys. Like, I'm not trying to pay $5,000 for Ramel Tapia. Like, he's fine. I guess he's got enough power. Like, I don't hate him as a player, but I just don't want to pay that premium when I can kind of get a little different there. Try to take a Dekari strategy, which we've talked about before. Take some of the best parts of the stack and try to go elsewhere. Yep. So that's where the approach I went to. I have a lot of Story and Arenado stacks, and granted, if they bust, then there'll be guys who everybody has. That'll suck, but I think they have the most potential to have like that 35-point, 40-point day. And everybody else here, I mean, is Ian Desmond going to give you that? Maybe. I mean, David Dahl's got enough pop to be interesting, but I just don't see the value as much being there necessarily to be with the field, even though, right now, Tapia and Murphy, not super highly owned as part of that stack.
Yeah, I think if you're playing Colorado, like I said, that's fine. But give yourself a chance. Like Adam says, like Alex says, two players that I really respect, and you guys probably really respect as well. Give yourself a chance at a victory. Like, don't have yourself competing with hundreds of lineups. So just do something different with your Colorado stacks, whether it's leaving off Arenado or Story or whatever it is. Or just going 2-man stacks or something like that and hope you catch the guy who double dongs. Just be smart with what you're doing. And I think our audience is smart enough to understand what I'm talking about.
Somebody in the chat, I guess I'm replying to it as I'm whatever. Tapia is starting. He's hitting leadoff. That is a confirmed lineup. So Wiggity Wump. That is update your lineups, por favor.
Not doing great over here, guys. Not doing great.
Also, Alex congratulated you, the boss man Osmo, and he's happy with you being the Osmo. I'm actually inferring this. He's happy with you being the Osmo of pizza roll eating, I think was what he implied.
I hope he's happy. I mean that as a badge of honor. He is the #1 DFS player in the world, and as of right now, I'm the #1 pizza bite eater.
Yeah, you are, at least at this company, though. AO Rhino in the YouTube chat says his personal best is 175. So
get out of here.
I trust AO Rhino. He's a regular.
I don't want to meet him.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
I'm sure that we have some beefy boys in either the premium Slack or the YouTube chat who've pounded over 200. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Like I said, I knew it was going to be a speed game for me. I don't have I don't want any more food. I want out, man.
Price per pound, though, I think that's a pretty impressive feat, regardless. So 300 pounds, and you can put down 150. That's about the same ratio, right? Roughly compared to what you weigh, Josh.
I never thought about it before.
Also, the Osmo Casino, which working hard behind the scenes right now at Osmo Odds. Go follow them. Go follow our betting folks who are doing a great job of this. An easy money day for the Osmo Casino. 69% of the money was on the under throughout the day. So that's why Vegas is lighting up every single day, guys, because you don't go with the over enough, I guess. That's the main takeaway.
Was there actually a poll?
Yeah, there's been polls throughout the day. They've been doing a good job at Osmo Odds on Twitter.
Wow. People really do not believe in you, Josh. I'm sorry. I believed in you from the start.
I have to admit, I just want to give our social media guys a little shout out because the at Osmo Odds Twitter have been doing a great job. At Osmo Weather, I know that's more the boss man than our social media guys, but everybody, like our little sub handles are getting very fun and doing a good job with things. So go follow at Osmo Odds, follow at Osmo Weather as well for updates like the Yankees game versus Kansas City, which went south. We had an update on there as well. So go follow those on Twitter.
For sure.
Josh, how you doing, buddy?
I'm not great, man. I'm sitting here just desperately waiting for our updated ownership with the Yankees game taken out. And I just don't want to talk to you guys anymore.
Having done this show with you enough times, I know you're not like a great actor guy, and you are legitimately hurt right now, is what I can tell.
Yeah, it's not spectacular right now. Like I'm having a lot of trouble forming like sentences and stuff.
I think Chris, how many do you think you would have done? I think I would have done like over under for me would probably be like 59.5. I'm not even joking. I eat a lot, but not pizza rolls, not that quantity.
I don't want to undersell Josh's accomplishment. I could have done 100 too, but I don't want to have to do 100. So yeah, like 50, but like easily 100. No, like it's just like you just will feel like death. Like you just push through, but then afterwards it is misery and terrible toilet things that occur.
The first 40 were super simple.
Oh, I'm sure.
I bet even delicious. You're probably having a blast.
Yeah, I mean, when I bit the first one and I realized that it wasn't burning my mouth, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be great." I was wrong. It wasn't great.
Josh, where do you get in stack wise? You're doing your lineups as you kind of recover from your possible demise. How are they coming along?
I haven't run a crunch yet.
Man, you were focused. I like to see, baby.
I mean, I'm waiting on ownership for the Yankees game to be taken out.
You might not want to wait too much longer. We got 15 minutes left. It's a pretty big slate.
Yeah, but I'm only crunching one site today, so.
You know what would probably help is eating 2 more pizza rolls.
I'll never eat a pizza roll again.
Ownership
updated 2 minutes ago?
Is that right?
Am I on the right tab?
I don't know, Makad, tell us. Did ownership update?
Oh, you're right. It did.
It doesn't say that in the update channel, though.
I know. We're not getting updates to that. I don't know what's going on.
Eddie, if you're listening, you're not listening for sure. I don't think you've ever listened.
He's too busy thinking like 50K every other week.
Yeah, if I'm Eddie, I'm not listening to this show either.
I think everybody's watching and supporting us on a holiday weekend, watching you die. I think was what everybody wanted to do with their holiday weekend.
I don't think anybody wanted any part of this, myself included.
All right, Jake, let's talk more about your stacks. But first, real quick shout out to the YouTube channel. We appreciate you guys really tuning in. I know everybody's got cool stuff to do. Some people in the chat were saying they're not even playing the slate today. They tuned in just to watch this. So we really do appreciate each and every one of you, and like the video too. Like even if you don't, we appreciate you showing up and indulging us in this experiment, I guess, more than anything, just to see what you guys will watch. And this was fun. We can't do it all the time, but we really do appreciate you guys turning out and joining us for this one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Eduardo asking in the YouTube chat, any games rained out? Yes, the Yankees game and the Kansas City game has been postponed. So that is the only one right now. Everything else looks fine, right, Jake?
That is correct.
Yep. All right. What else you getting stack wise, Jake? Since Josh is in some sort of vortex / purgatory.
I'm getting
my eyes are closing right now.
Getting to more Angels than I anticipated. I know I like stacking up against Smiley, and this is before I crunch out. I filter out my lineup, so maybe I'll get less Angels than what I have right now. But right now, they're my number 2 stack behind St. Louis, which I absolutely love. I love St. Louis is one of my favorites tonight. I hope I get a ton of them. They're coming in as one of the more under-owned plays, and Fulte just hasn't been the same this season. So those are 2 that I'm more okay with the St. Louis one, but and it's really good weather in St. Louis as well, 85, and looks like really humid and wind blowing out to left. So I like it.
Yeah, I got to sim St. Louis too. I think the values are kind of there for some of those guys. Goldschmidt too interests me a bit. Not a bad price for him as a first baseman, both as a one-off and as part of the stack. So I agree with you on that one. Angels, I didn't get to so much. I got a few Trout and Ohtani 2-mans. I wanted to get to Texas. So I love Griffin Canning. I think, again, Hollywood star kind of name. I really enjoy his pitch types and stuff. And swinging strike rate on the year, 17.7%, looking really good. 10 Ks per 9, also looking pretty good. But Texas is so good versus right-hand pitching where if he does, I mean, he'll have a little bit of an advantage because this is the first time they're seeing him in the season. But I think if he does get gotten to, that Texas lineup could be sneaky because Angels Park is getting up a lot of home runs and they have a ton of power that can be really dangerous for Canning. And he's a guy who can give up some power, especially to the left side of the plate. 7% home run rate so far in 43 batters faced, so not a huge sample size, but giving it up a good amount of lefties in his little career here.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Texas isn't a stack that I think I'm going to get a ton of shares of, but like if I got a few of them, I'd be more interested if Canning was getting more steam, but at that price tag, I don't know that you're getting a ton of leverage on him for 8,600 and him not being that highly owned.
Yeah, just 15% ownership for Canning expected. So not the perfect leverage spot, but it is one that jumped out to me this morning. The Vegas total certainly doesn't support it either, but it's only 3.9. I think it might be up to 4 at some places, but if it were a little bit higher, I think you can make a compelling case for him. And even still, I think if you're doing 150 and you're finishing up right now, I would throw in a little bit of Texas just in the hopes that maybe they do go off. Anybody else? Actually, one quick update from the Osmo Odds Casino, which is still running some separate prop bets. Well, Josh barfed before MLB lock. The yes is now up to -110. The no is +110. So a parlay of Josh bets would have done well today.
I fight against that. That was never something that I was really good at after nights of drinking. I know it makes me feel better, but I've got like an aversion to it. So that's only happening in the last resort type scenario.
I'm right there with you, buddy. Chris, you're not a barfer, are you?
Oh, I am when I need to. Not often, like not an unforced one, but like when I have a bad night and I know like it'll make me feel better to get it out of the system, and then tomorrow I'll be better for it. I have no problem pulling the trigger on that, but not often now. Like I'm old enough where I'm not an idiot with my drinking, but back in the old shot doing days where you don't, keep as much track, and that adds like a multiplier effect, much like eating 100 pizza rolls. Yeah, I think sometimes you got to supermodel it up and feel beautiful.
I understand. That makes sense.
All right, we got some stuff here to talk about stack-wise as well. People talking in the chat about the Mets. Jake, you are a Mets guy. You are always on the Mets in your optimizations. Getting any Mets today?
Yeah, I just think Soto is really, really not a good pitcher, as you probably heard on every show that has gone on this channel so far today. And every time he's pitched, I just don't think he has much. And then you're getting some really good prices on like Frazier, JD Davis, Ahmed Rosario. I like against lefties and leading off. Not sure you're going to find too many better values than Rosario for 3,900. This total has come up even as I'm just talking about this, 5.2 for the Mets. Man, and I love Ramos at 3,900 as well. So yeah, I like me some Mets. What say you, Chris?
I like paying for Pete Alonso today. So like two guys who I kind of forced in as one-offs because I didn't really naturally get to the full stacks, but I just think they're in fantastic spots. And I had both these guys in my Four Corners video. So if you've been watching that, the short form video I do on the channel, you'll probably be aware. But like generally when I have guys as one-offs in that video, I try to get them in there even if they don't naturally occur. So Pete Alonso and Christian Yelich, Alonso's numbers versus lefties are just off the chain. I mean, it's only been 50 at-bats, 47, but a 191 WRC plus, a 488 ISO. So he's just mashing them. 10.6% home run rate. And Soto's bad. So Pete Alonso could have like a really quiet, nasty day today without a ton of ownership on him.
Yeah, Alonso. I mean, he's just a guy. I was joking a few weeks ago that he just dongs every day, but he's just a really good hitter, it seems like. And going up against the lefties, 5,300, and that's not great for a one-off. There are some better options that are going to grade out better on a raw point basis. But in the context of a stack, that's not that tough of a price to pay when you get all these sub 4K guys 1 through 6, basically, and then JD Davis at 42.
Yeah, I think, the stack I didn't quite get to as much. I did add a little bit of the top 5, and I think a little bit of Carlos Gomez. Rajai Davis, too, or Raji. I forget, it's Raji, right?
Rajay.
Not a bad price, and he comes up a little for me in the optimizers, and I think I might have like 1 or 2 lineups with him. I'm all right with it. Like, I think Soto's bad enough where you can really make a case for pretty much this entire lineup if you wanted to.
That's fair. Josh, you got
else
ready to?
What's up?
Did you want to? I thought you wanted to say something there, or no?
No, I barely want to speak, man.
All right, all good.
Jake, what else you got? Any weird teams that we haven't talked about?
Baltimore, I think they're, for a 7 total in Coors on the other side, like, we're just ignoring Baltimore at 54. I keep saying 54 when I get to Baltimore. 5.4 implied total for them. Like, that's as high of a total for Baltimore as you're going to see. So can't get a better hitting environment against Hoffman, a guy that we're a little bit unsure of, and some pricing that's I'm not too worried about paying 3,800 and 3,500 for Ruiz and Broxton in a stack. So the bottom of this lineup, if you take 1 or 2 of these guys, 5 through 8, I think it's pretty affordable as well.
Yeah, I got some of Alberto, and I could see going to Severino too. And Broxton, he's not a bad DFS player, even though on paper he's certainly not a great hitter by any stretch. But yeah, I could see getting there. Just the one guy I really wouldn't get to is Wilkerson, and he'll hit a home run today just to spite me. But like a negative 58 WRC plus and almost 40 at bats in the major leagues. Like, come on, Wilkerson, Jesus Christ! Like, do something, man. That's insane to me.
Do something.
Sorry, I'm really judgmental today. I don't know why, but Steve Wilkerson, I keep seeing him have negative WRC pluses versus lefties. I just don't like, how is that possible to be that negative after that many at bats? Doesn't seem right.
Yeah, that's doesn't seem optimal, but
No, probably not
in MLB DFS. So
what about the Dodgers for you?
Yeah, I'm getting to the Dodgers. I capped everyone at 8% right now to try to get the crunch to go a little faster. But yeah, they're gonna hit that. They're going to hit that cap, and then you see them, another team with the 5 implied total. They're not being talked up too much. It's tough to fit them in when you add in Bellinger, but he would be a guy I would want to fit in on as many LA stacks as I get to. Muncy hits lefties, okay. Turner is underpriced. What's new there? You get Beatty leading off for 3,400. And I think people are off of them a little bit because they're worried about Brault, a lefty, coming in, but these guys all hit lefties really well, including Seager. So 1 through 5, really, really like the Dodgers.
Yeah, and getting Jock out of there was probably a wise move for Brault coming in as a projected long reliever, because Jock is terrible versus lefties. So Jock Peterson, of course, not the athletes on the team, just a bad player versus lefties. So getting Beatty, Beatty, not a guy who I was trying to get to either, though I did kind of land on him naturally in some lineups. I think that lineup is very capable of doing damage, and the park factors do really favor doubles and triples. And I think this team is very capable of having a lot of batting around the order if things break the right way. And I wanted some exposure to that because I think, on this slate, they could be an outlier team at low ownership who can really do some damage.
Dude, I am getting to so many Orioles, I think.
What about the Padres?
I X them out on my main stack. They're way too overowned. So I'm getting them as 2-mans, which I'm fine with. I'm basically always fine with 2-mans, even if it's a chalky team. But as like a 3 and 4 man, I will try to pass on Padres as much as possible. I just think they're chalk not for a good reason. They're not chalk because they're good plays. They're chalk because of what the other teams allow you to get in, like because people want to jam in Coors.
Aaron D in the YouTube chat. And sorry, by the way, if you guys are watching the show for all the bouncing back and forth, but I'm trying to kind of manage the flight control and the two things we've done this show. Aaron D saying, wow, Josh, I turned in late and you look absolutely miserable, but props to you. So there you go, Josh.
I feel absolutely miserable.
It's a positive Yelp review for you, though. So I would take it.
Sure.
Jake, anybody else here that you got to that we haven't hit on?
Dude, I'm seeing a couple Lucchese lineups show up. We haven't talked about him at all. But
yeah, not really on my radar.
Yeah, he's projecting out okay. And I'm getting like Lucchesi, Thornton, Lucchesi, McGowan, so guys in that range. So I'm riding with it. I wasn't anticipating being on them, but when I'm ranking out lineups, I have a weighted ranking system for a reason, I suppose. So I am getting to some Lucchesi. I don't know exactly how I feel about that. I know the Blue Jays are getting a little bit of ownership, so maybe it's just the leverage that I'm getting off of them.
While we're talking about this game too, any Cavan Biggio form for you? I feel like we don't talk enough about, or people are always curious about the new guys coming in who don't have any sort of history. And Biggio is a guy. I mean, people are going to remember his dad. He is. I assume he's Craig Biggio's dad. If he's not, that's a strange coincidence.
I usually wait on those guys unless it's someone like Vlad Guerrero Jr., where they've been talking about them. You've seen them hit moonshots on Twitter. We have the luxury of just having the best DFS player in the world's projections on the site. So I usually just go with the flow. If he was batting like leadoff, I'd probably get, in the top 5 even, I'd probably get to some of them, but I don't see myself having a ton of them.
What about Josh? I mean, I guess you X'd out the Padres, so I'll say this one. I got some Josh Naylor today. I prefer Eric Hosmer, but Naylor is also a lefty, and the lefty matchup versus Trent Thornton has been a good one with him having a 5.2% home run rate versus lefties and a 5.1 xFIP compared to versus righties, where he's actually not bad, 3.9 xFIP and a 2.2% home run rate. So I think Hosmer interests me, and I think Naylor, 2,800 on DK. Like, I think you could talk me into him as a one-off just because of that price, $2,800. Like, if he hits a home run, you're not going to be perfect with it, but it'll give you a pretty decent edge to be able to afford some more stuff.
Yeah, I mean, 2,800 is a ridiculous price for anyone, basically, against a non-elite pitcher in Thornton. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I would go Naylor over Biggio if we are going with the cheap guys, rookies with no track record in the majors. Naylor would be a little more interesting to me. And Ship My Money, Adam made a good case for it on Deeper Dive. We talked about his minor league power, and it's there. I don't remember the numbers he cited offhand, but they were very impressive. So just know that. Anything else?
My lineups in.
Okay, what are you getting, Josh? What are your crunches looking like?
Yeah, pitching. Top 6 guys in order. Noah Syndergaard, Jose Barrios, Miles Michaelis, Shane Bieber, Walker Buehler, Pablo Lopez.
I don't think we talked about those last 2 guys at all. Jake, you got any Buehler or Lopez in yours?
I don't think so.
Great.
No, I'm actually getting less Syndergaard than I anticipated as well. But yeah, so those lineups aren't ranking out that well for me, but I am getting a decent amount of Syndergaard actually in my 150, but might actually come in a little bit underweight on him, which I'm surprised about.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He's so high owned. Like, if you're just close enough to it, I feel like it's the same thing as just riding with the field. What about your hitters, Josh?
Padres, Rockies, White Sox, Orioles.
I'm actually kind of glad you're on the Padres. I'm a little bit surprised because that's a chalky play. Why did you land on them, Josh?
They grade out pretty well. They're cost efficient. I have a lot of my salary taken up in that top piece, probably a little bit more than most. And how labored do I sound when I'm speaking?
Extreme. That's why I can't stop laughing.
The 9% ownership to God, who the hell do they play? Blue Jays?
Yes, they do. At the Blue Jays.
Yeah. The 9% ownership going to Trent Thornton is pulling them up a little bit further. But ultimately, they grade out as like the third best stack. I know that in Alex's rankings and Alex's projections, they are probably going a little bit over-owned. I boosted up my hedge sorting to try and get a little bit more against some of the pitchers that I'm not really fond of. To try and take a different stance. So I'm hoping that works out.
And we are locked, but I guess while we're just talking about your stacks, just to close the loop, since you didn't get to give all your picks, who you love leverage on a popular pitcher. Is there anybody here getting leverage on that the people may not be aware of?
Yeah, the White Sox are my third highest owned stack.
Oh, okay. All right. So there you go. So that sums it up. We are locked. Josh, you want to keep going for another hour? You just want to see how you feel?
I've never wanted to do anything less than keep talking.
Emax saying we need proof of life from Josh every 30 minutes tonight. I am not kidding. He's worried about your sodium intake.
Yeah, that's a good amount of sodium. So,
Josh, you're going to take a laxative soon after, is what Eduardo is asking.
I'm gonna read this on the air. I texted my wife and told her that I did it. She said, Found it. We didn't know if it. Okay, watching now. 3,600 calories. And I'm gonna read this out loud because I think it's fun. P.S. Jake is a snack.
Oh,
Well,
so Jake's getting it both ways. Where I think Jake is always handsome, but somebody said Jake looks like Alfred Payton with his hair today.
that's sick. That's a good compliment right there. Alfred Payton, that dude's got some pretty cool looking hair. I mean, I don't know how you play basketball with that hanging over your face, but
he cut it. So that's why he was a little better this year.
oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that shows you how much NBA I pay attention to.
You're just a showdown king. You don't need to watch the games. Just
By the way,
Okay.
I also banged out 32 ounces of Gatorade in that time, so that's like 5 pounds worth of food and drink. Anyway, the next message from her immediately after P.S. Jake is a snack is, don't get too fat from this, LOL. And were they warm? No. Well, I mean, what else would they have been? Frozen? Come on, life.
Well, I don't think so. I think you should have had them being like lukewarm, not like you should have given them more time to.
Oh, they were never like piping hot.
Okay. Well,
It never burned the first one didn't burn at all. I think probably because I had to have 2 trays of 50 in the oven, and it maybe takes a little bit longer because it says that it's not recommended to cook that many at the same time.
yeah, I can't imagine. I mean,
Well, your sacrifice is appreciated by me, and I'll speak on behalf of all the viewers too. Tuned out in record numbers for an MLB Live Before Lock show. So thank you guys for watching. We all appreciate you, Josh. Thank you for your sacrifice on behalf of content.
I'm honestly proud of myself.
I'm
I'm ashamed of myself and proud at the exact same time. It's a weird place to be.
that's perfect.
It's where we want you to be every single day. And of course, we want you guys to be also ashamed and proud of yourselves as you're watching this. And one way to do that is to spend some money on a Live Before Lock promo code, get half off your first month at awesome.com, get all the ownership projections and rankings, the deeper dive column, or the deep dive. Goddamn, I always screw them up and get them backwards every time. The deep dive column, the top stacks tool, a lot of different things, a lineup builder, a lot of ways you can build better lineups. If you're a single entry guy, an MME guy, they'll all make you better. Use that promo code Live Before Lock. Jake, any parting words before we give Josh the floor and let him say goodbye to everybody?
No, I'm just a little surprised with how I uploaded right 4 minutes ago, 1 minute before lock, and I actually got a really wide spread of pitchers. So we'll see how it shakes out. I got some Soto, who I absolutely hate.
Oh, boy. I don't be throwing Juan Soto at pitcher.
Honestly, I might as well. So we'll see. It should be an interesting night. Not exactly what I anticipated, but it's what happens when you take it out of FC and you can't track your exposures.
And when Josh is eating 100 pizza rolls, it throws us all for a bit of a tizzy. But I appreciate you all watching. I hope you all have a good weekend. I'll be back tomorrow with EMAC doing the Saturday show. But Josh, the floor is yours. Parting words for everybody.
Bye. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate everybody coming out. That was actually really fun. I mean, I feel like garbage, but thanks for joining us. Bye. I can't do it anymore.
Bye, guys.